Everyone, it's Bree from Skeletorama again. Welcome back to my channel. How is everybody doing? So we are on episode 14 now, and we are going to start putting some of the trim on the exterior. So we're going to do kind of the first round of it, which is all the different nosing and cornice and all sorts of things with a bunch of funny names. And we will also attach our exterior doors and windows. So hope you enjoy. So we are on the fun part, which is the trim. Okay, so what I did was I went and I got all the different pieces of trim that are mentioned in here, looked at where they were, figured out what color they're supposed to be, all that good stuff, and painted them. And spoiler alert, they were all black. So I had all their little labels, so now they're in here painted, and I just took a cardboard box thing and I stuck its little label right next to it so I'll know what it is. So this is the majority of the trim here. And of course we have the two now of the fancy business that goes over the doors. As you can see, if I put these next to each other, see how they're kind of warped? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but I'll do my best on that. And then of course our railing here. And then in the instructions, they have some additional trim that you can do with different pieces of strip molding that they give you. I'm not going to do those because it's a little bit too much. I like the level of detail it's at currently. So I'm skipping this one. It's an optional one. And then on the next page is the rest of the trim. Okay, so it's showing us that we're going to be putting in our exterior frames and the door frames and all that stuff. We can't really do the interior until we've done the wallpapering, but we have a bunch of different things here, and within this we have some strip wood pieces that we need. So first we're going to need strip wood pieces here along each side on the balconies that match the railing, that match the arch rail and everything. So I did 2 pieces of the 1/2 inch strip wood. I've stained those, so we'll be using those for that one. We can cut those out there. And then you also have a 1/2 inch piece of strip wood that goes on each side, 2 of them. So one at the front edge of the back wall, or the side wall, and one at the back edge. So I have 4 of those here. And then we have some pieces that are cut from 3/4 inch strip wood that go in these little squares. So I've done that here in the purple. And so that one we're going to need to cut. So for this stuff, we're going to use the Easy Cutter here. And we're going to make sure this is dry because I just painted it not that long ago. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Thought I felt a little bit of paint. Okay, there's a little bit on that edge, just more on the bottom that I'm worried about. Okay, so we are going to need 3 squares that are 1 inch long of the 3/4 inch strip wood. So this is a little bit larger than that. And then we need 2 of them that are 5/8 inches long here out of this. So let's get our ruler. And we'll start at this end here. And I'm going to go ahead and make a little mark here for the 1 inch, and then I'll put it in here. I can never find my pencil mark, you know. Yeah, okay, let's do that again. Darker this time because I can't even see that. Okay, so that should be better. Yes, I can actually see that now. All right, sort of. Probably put my glasses on when I do this. Here we go. Okay, and we're going to put it there. We're going to squeeze. Sometimes it takes a second. It's probably going to go shooting off. There we go. All right, so we got 1, and that is 1 inch. And I'm going to do that 2 more times. I know that'll be fun. And then what we'll do is we'll paint the ends of them here as well. Okay. trick is being able to find it once it flies off. There we are. All right. And I just need one more at 1 inch. Whee! Okay, that one went flying. Where'd it go? Ha. All right. So we got the 3 1-inch pieces, and then now we need 2 of them at 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. It's right here. This one will probably really get airborne. And I'm doing this in kind of pulses, you know. I'm not just squeezing once because I get carpal tunnel or something. Okay, found it. And one more. 4 5/8. There we go. Okay. There. Aim it down, it doesn't seem to go as far. All right, there we are. This out of the way, get this out of the way. Grab some sandpaper. I always keep sandpaper up here. And I'm going to go ahead and sand my edges of these. I only want to go one direction because I don't want to round my corners on them. That's a little tip for that. I'm going to sand the edges down of these, and then we'll paint these, and these will be ready to go for our trim on the front. And then so once I do that and these are ready to go, I will bring the all the trim and all that stuff out there, and we're going to lay the dollhouse on its back, which is a rather nerve-wracking experience, but you know, it is the way you get your trim to stay on without falling off and having to tape the heck out of it and all that. So I am going to use a Q-tip, I think, for this, just because I'm getting real tired of rinsing that brush out. So I'm just going to do the edges of them here. And then I will put them on the glass mat to finish drying, because these ones we don't need right away. There's a lot of pieces that have to go down before these go on there. But it's best to have everything done and ready so it can go in one continual flow. And then in there they do have, and we'll talk about that when it's time to put the trim down. There's a few pieces that they recommend that you shingle first before you put down. So we'll take a look at those and see how difficult would they actually be to do that way. I just got some all over that. Okay. Okay, so there's those squares. And this, I think I had some stain on my hand or something. Okay, there we go. See, now I can just throw this away and look, I'm all cleaned up. All right, so I'm going to go get the house onto its back and I will meet you guys out there. The cool thing is with the trim, and once we put the windows and stuff on, it's going to start looking like it's really, really finished, but we still have tons of things to do. We have to put down flooring. We have to do, almost said sheetrock. Wow, no, we don't do that. Wallpaper, that's what I was thinking. Moldings, all that kind of stuff. So we're about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way there. As far as the outer structure, it's almost done. We've got trim and we've got shingling. And then because stairs go in during part of the interior decor process. So, all right, anyways, see you guys out there. All right, so this is not the best angle in the world, but this is the best I could do because even laying on its back, this thing is really tall. So I have here my sheet, and it shows where to put all the different pieces of trim work. It tells you to put it on first before you glue it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on fast forward, and I'm going to set all these pieces in their proper spot, and then maybe bring it around handheld so I can show you that. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to do it. So here you can see we've got the nosing for the right and the left. This is the, I don't remember because I've already put the instructions down. These are the different pieces here that fit on here and that fit on here. And then there's the porch cornice. And then there should be another piece to the roof stuff on that little corner bit, but I couldn't really get to it there. Okay, so those are the first things that we put down on here. So what I'll do is I will double check my instructions, make sure I haven't forgotten anything, and I will start gluing these down, I think. And with the different pieces where they're saying, you know, hey, maybe wait till you shingle it, I'm going to put it on because I did test with a shingle and I could get the shingle under the other thing. I'll figure that part out. It's a heck of a lot easier than remembering to do the other bit and not screwing up where these go because these are based on that. So anyways, I'll join you guys back once I've glued this stuff down. All right, so I have attached the trim from the first section. So we've got the, you know, here's the bottom base of it. So we've got this cornice here. This goes in line with the floor of this porch here. And so I did have an issue with this not wanting to fit right, and I was getting a lot of gapping there. So this is angled right here, so I sanded it down. I was very careful to not lose that angle while I sanded it down, and I would sand a little bit at a time and fit it, and a little bit at a time and fit it. So now it's fitting in there the way it's supposed to. And then if we go up, we see, whoopsie, sorry, we see the balcony cornice there. So the line that we drew was to help center these pieces here. So these are 3/4 of an inch on either side of it. And then these are each 1 1/4 inches. Luckily, my Tim Holtz ruler is 1 1/4 inches wide. So I was able to just use that to measure it, which was nice. And then we have the attic tabling here. We have these again, once I put this in, because when I dry fit everything, I noticed these were a bit long. So I went ahead and I cut them down so that they would fit. What happened there? I have no idea, but something. And then this piece is up here. And then I went ahead and put the nosing on here, and I've got it so it's joining real good there. I've got a piece of tape over there to hold that. And then we come down here to the gable. Same sort of a thing. I centered this, and then I did these however far apart it said they were supposed to be. And then I put the nosing on here. So I'll worry about getting the shingles in there later. Let me slowly pan down here and kind of up. So again, this is sort of where we're at. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put all of the doors and windows in. So I'm going to see if I've got a spot that I can put this so at least you guys can see that part. All right, so I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see the stuff because again, the way it's laying on its back makes it massively hard to film. So what I have is I have all the doors and the windows. We're just doing the outer ones on this round here. The inner ones will go in after we do wallpaper. And then the inner ones are what are going to hold the actual windows in place. So I've tried to keep the tape off of stuff. I can go ahead and remove the tape from this right here. And on this side. On this side should be good to go without the tape. Shouldn't have any other tape interfering with what we need to attach. So we're going to start placing these. So this one's going to go in here, and then we'll center that. I'm not sure if you can see the doors. So the doors, this is our outer edge of them. Probably going to go ahead and put a little piece of tape on the back just to keep the door shut, because I don't want anything to happen to it and have it break off under there. So it's just a little piece of tape right here. It's not going over the edge. It's trying to, but it's not going over the edge. And so these are going to sit down in here. And what I'll do is I'll bring you around if you can't see that at the end, you know, when we're done. Okay, this one, the door is really stiff, so we're just going to leave it really stiff. Okay, and it's going to sit in there like so. And then we have our different windows. Okay, so we've got our tower window. Here's our center one. And then we have the two side ones. Like so. And then our next level up, mid-floor. It's easy to tell because they get progressively taller. Okay, so here's our center one. There's the center. And these ones you want to get placed before you put the decorative bits that are going to go right there, obviously. I can't see. There it goes. All right. There we are. And then we have our bottom floor windows. So these are going to go in here good. Only one we may have trouble with is that one there, but we shouldn't have too much trouble with it. It should still fit. It's sitting in there just fine, so that's good. All right, so we have our bottom floor windows here and here. All right, so let's see how much you can kind of see part of the door, sort of. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will put it on fast forward and I will go around and I will glue all of them in. And I'm going to have my handy dandy tape with me just so I can tape some of these side ones. I want to make sure that they're straight and that they're up where they're supposed to be. Okay, so I'll be centering them with the tape when I get to them. Actually, we can start on, let's start on the easy ones, like this one. These are easy because they're going to sit in there nice and flat. So you're just going to put glue around, just like we did on the addition. This is the surface that's going to meet the wall. And these are actually raised up a little high, so there's no point putting it on the little decorative parts. Okay, and so then I'm going to come around here, get the tape handy. Okay, and I'm going to center this. Ooh, these guys aren't centered though. Can I move either of them? Nope. Okay, well, it's just lopsided now. Well, pull it over here as much as I can. But yeah, see, that's, even though these were centered over this, apparently these weren't as centered as they looked. So, oh well. Shinmahai. Okay. There's that. And then get the extra glue off. All right, and I will go through and glue everything else down. so there are a few of the windows, and I will pick it up here in a second so you can see the doors, but the key to them is just making sure you're taping them down really good. Make sure they're lined up nice and straight with this top edge here, and then tape them really good, especially the ones that are kind of off to the side, because that's what's going to keep them in place. So I'm going to do the rest of these. There's just really no nice way I can do it without getting completely in the way of the camera. So figured that was enough of those. So I'm going to pick it up here. So we got the cameras. We got the doors in there. And so I've got them just taped down real good on the top. And this one I've got it in a couple spots. Okay. And then of course this is what I was talking about with this. See how it's not centered? So something went awry with the taping of these things and the measuring of them. So I may end up pulling one of these and either moving that one out or this one in, because that's going to drive me insane. So I will mess with that later, and I will come back to you guys when all the rest of the windows and stuff are done. Right, so that is it for our first round of trim. So in the next one, we will be putting the rest of it on, including the balcony rails and the arch rails and things that we had done in the previous episodes. So hope to see you then. Bye.